let's start the stream.
Pilot's ready.
Pilot missed the last stream. Any big upsets?
Upsets.
You got any things you want to tell the fans, Christopher?
Oh, are we live? Are we doing it? Is it happening?
We're live right now at this very moment. So do you have anything that you would like to tell the fans at home about what happened last week?
Well, last week nothing happened. Last
2 weeks ago.
Last week I sat at home. 2 weeks ago, let's see, there was a bit of a disagreement between Samus and Judy Hopps.
Yeah, I'm personally a little worried about Samus.
Worried about Samus. Go on.
You know, just Samus doesn't seem to be taking, not taking the winning the championship well as much as taking the reaction to her winning the championship well.
Not soaking it up like you'd think.
Yeah, you know, that's mainly what it comes down to. So I'm a little concerned about that. We actually have an exciting development tonight for our AHHWF Men's Championship.
Oh, yes, we do. I was trying to figure out where you were going with that, but yes. Word from Fraser Crane is that he set up a pick your poison match scenario tonight, so Al and Trunks will be picking each other's opponents tonight. So I have no idea, Ben. I'm not in with the boys like I used to be. I'm not hearing all the rumors backstage.
Yeah.
I don't know who's been selected for either one of those people. I don't even know if they picked yet. Maybe Al's kind of like a fly by the seat of the pants kind of guy, like I presume he is. Maybe he's gonna wait for the right moment to decide what's going on with the Trunks.
Maybe, but either way, both Trunks and Al will be in action tonight in singles competition.
Yeah, you will see both the champion and his challenger for next week's The Big Show, our biggest pay-per-view of the year, Ben. The granddaddy of them all.
Yes, this is like a really exciting time at HHW.
It really
right
is.
now.
You know,
right, this is cool.
Yep, we're past the fast lane. We're just on the road now. We got all our favorite snacks. I've got my cheese Ritz bits and my gummy worms. Ben, what do you like to take on the road with you?
Well, oftentimes I take little Hershey's bars on the road with me. I don't like them, but I bring them on the road for other people to have. Don't quite care for them myself.
They're just great conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
you
really
like
good.
the same music, which is always important on a road trip.
Yeah.
Well, Ben, I think the biggest thing to note about tonight is that hopefully we'll have everything under control. Our roster's been a lot out of control lately, like taking advantage of the backstage hallways.
Chris.
And wait. But Ben, what am I hearing in my headset? Ben, is it? Oh, not again! Damn it, Ben! We just reestablished control.
Well, control not established for long. Samus apparently going after Judy Hopps here backstage. They had a bit of a in-ring verbal altercation last week, but Samus apparently looking to send a bit of a more of a message this week. This is not something you'd like to see.
No, in fact, we complained about it for the last several weeks. These people on our roster can't keep it in the ring like they're contracted to do. You know, they make a mockery of our whole deal here, especially, you know, oh, God, bouncing the former champion's head off whatever that crate is. And, you know, but if Samus wants to send a message to Judy Hopps, nothing's going to do it more than kicking her ass in those glowing shoes.
Yeah, so, all right, the first week, it was like, oh, it's the road to the big show. It's every backstage brawl. You know, people are all just trying to make their, make everything known. But this is just like getting out of hand at this point.
Yeah, you know, it's like we really need to establish our dominance again. Not ours personally. We're commentators. We have nothing to do with this. But Fraser Crane has got to be throwing his hands up in the air. It's like, what kind of operation am I running here? What is this gonna look like to my folks back home? But Judy Hopps fighting back after this attack from Samus. You know, Samus dealt the first blow and started this whole thing, but Judy looks like she wants to finish it. The former champion gets the current champion. And, you know, the thing is, Ben, is that what's strange is that normally when people have 2 weeks to kind of, like, think about how something went, it usually deflates the situation. Samus only apparently got more upset because now she's making it physical and attacking Judy.
Oh, but Judy throwing Samus into those crates there.
They picked
kicks to the head. They're really in a confined space to have a brawl here right now.
A bad spot for either of them, really, because any way you go, any way your opponent throws you, you're hitting something. And right now, Judy's head is hitting that floor. We got to get what Ben? Who are the security men? Was it security Jeff and security? Oh, Ben, you hate to see this. Judy left lying unconscious on the floor after a vicious DDT from Samus Aran.
Yeah, well, and I'm getting word now that Samus will be coming out to the ring now to address the AHHWF universe.
The ring is the last place she should be going after an attack like that. She should be going to the bench or the locker room or her home. I don't want to come out here and have to listen to her gloat after that kind of despicable action.
You know, I've seen other wrestling promotions oftentimes call police on their wrestlers, and I never thought that was something we were going to have to get to, but there reaches a point where it's just it's past, like, yes, like, this is a physical sport and there is emotions run high, but there reaches a point where, like, that is not part of the sport.
Well, Russell Westbrook can't just, like, dunk on Damian Lillard in the hallway, Ben. He has to keep it on the court.
Yeah, well, Russell Westbrook can't dunk on Damian Lillard in the first place.
Well, but he would want to after this, whole week.
He would want to try.
Exactly. So Samus would want to, you know, maybe prove that she's better than Judy after she's thinking the fans and even us have maybe talked about her like she's not.
Yeah.
But you can't do it like that, Ben, or else you'll get the elementary school security called on you. And granted, they're not, you know, known for their punctuality, as we saw. Sometimes they let fights go on a little longer if they don't like the kids involved. You know, they count to 3 before they save the bully from getting attacked. But in this case, this was no bully. This is Judy Hopps, former women's champion.
And Samus with a grin coming out here.
And those wild eyes we've been seeing from her the last ever since the night that she won the championship. And
Yeah.
that's when I knew that I thought Judy's reign might be over, was Samus came out with those eyes and looked ready to do anything to win that title.
Well, that's the thing. It's like we've been seeing a completely different Samus since that night.
Yeah, and you know, she's made a big thing about how the reason she's acting this way is because everyone kind of let her title win go by the wayside in favor of talking about, you know, the surprise and the disappointment that Judy's no longer champion. But if we look at the eyes, Ben, truly the window to the soul, then maybe Samus was already kind of going this way before that bell even rang.
Yeah, well, you know, they say that, you know, a wrestler whose name I cannot remember at this time looked into Andre the Giant's eyes and saw that Andre the Giant was going to turn on him, and you have a match at some other big show at some point.
Ben, you know, you're known for your keen, detailed memory, and I'm happy to have you on board this show. But Samus, you know, not needing to test our memory, pointing out what literally just happened in front of our eyes. She said, look, if you're not going to treat me like the current champion, then I'll just go through the former champion. And Ben, this music, it's a new day. Yes, it is. And we are being visited by our new close personal friend from Hollywood, Charlize Theron, the number one contender.
Charlize Theron.
Yeah, exactly. The number 1 contender to the Women's Championship next week at the big show. And look how upset Samus is to see Charlize showing up here tonight.
Well,
Just glaring at her. Ben, if looks could kill, she's still talking while Charlize is making her entrance. The disrespect to ignore the entrance, to try to talk over the music and try to continue making your point. I kind of respect it, but also I imagine that Charlize is not going to let that kind of insult fly. And Charlize saying, Ben, that she doesn't, she's new around here. She doesn't know much about what Samus was like before, but she can tell you that if this is how the championship's going to be represented right now, then she can't wait to do a better job than Samus is doing starting next week when she becomes the new women's champion.
Whew. Charlize saying that she's going to walk away with that AHHWF Women's Championship at the big show. Samus responding with a resounding, I don't think so.
Yeah, and then continuing to pontificate here, Ben, about how Charlize is everything wrong with AHHWF. Is that Fraser Crane and the fans always want the new shiny thing, as opposed to someone like Samus who's been there the entire time and turned out classic performances day in and day out. Charlize getting up in her face saying, look, new or not, there's a certain way that championships should be defended and won. And unlike you, I don't need to show up backstage and attack people to get my points across. I'm going to get my point across in the ring. I'm going to show you who's the better person face to face.
And Sam is saying that you talk a big game, but saying that she is the only wrestler here in this company that focuses solely on AHHWF, saying that everybody else has their side projects. They have their things they do.
It's
but
true.
Sam is saying she's given up everything. She has given up everything. When was the last time that you saw, one of her games on the store shelves?
It's true. When's the last
She
time you
is
saw a Metroid
focused
game?
solely on AHHWF.
And to Samus's point, all the Avengers on our roster are off fighting Thanos as we speak. Samus has made the sacrifices to let Ripley terrorize space somewhere to be here to be a champion.
I'm intimidated by these two.
I am too. I think it's best for keeping a safe distance up in our commentary booth because the sparks are really flying down there. Ben, Sam is continuing to get in Charlize's face and rub in that she's a newcomer from the movie business. Sam is saying, look, I know you're used to people taking care of everything for you. Your hair, your wardrobe, your food. But during this match at the big show next week, you're not going to be able to take a break and go to your trailer. And unlike your little movies, this is very real.
Charlize just waving off Samus. Oh, it retorted!
And slapping Samus across the face. Nobody insults Charlize Theron's movies.
And the crowd, a hush falls over them.
Wow, yeah. Big inverted World's Strongest Slam from Charlize Theron. She's had enough. Ben, when you're a megastar like Charlize is, you don't have to put up with someone talking to you like that. Firing Samus off the ropes.
Well, obviously, very well-known fact, Charlize Theron, a great movie star, but little-known fact, actually has done a lot of combat training for her roles
It's true.
in her movies. So, I don't know if you ever saw Atomic Blonde, but I can tell you firsthand that Charlize Theron knows how to fight.
Absolutely, and we're seeing
Or
that
secondhand, I guess. I watched it.
You watched it, yeah,
I didn't participate.
You did not fight Charlize Theron.
I got a D-box seat, so it felt like firsthand,
sure.
yeah.
Well, I bet Samus is regretting that front row D-box seat right there, taking a big clothesline from Charlize and coworker Brian, pulling the number one contender off. Ben, we could be looking at the next women's champion.
Oh, and a stare down.
Woo. That is going to be one heated matchup next week. I cannot wait to see what happens there.
I can't either. I'll bring you back up here now. We will get a look at the commentary booth as we wait for things to get a little, under control out there in the ring.
It's been a chaotic month, Ben. April backstage brawls bring May technical classics, I hope. I hope that common phrase is
backstage
as true
brawls
as ever.
bring technical falls?
Yeah,
does that work with wrestling?
I think that's pretty good.
I don't know. Do you want to tell the folks what we have coming up for them at home?
Yes, at your very home, you will be able to watch. If you remember last week, so there's been some controversy involved in the tag team division as well, Ben. Love Type Connection lost their tag team titles to Gogeta at the Rumble Pack. Then when Gogeta announced, God, there's so many names to keep track of here. When Gogeta announced that Love Type Connection would get a rematch at the big show, the Teenage Mutant Eldritch Turtles attacked Goku backstage to try and be like, look, pay attention to us. We want a title shot too. Then last week, I believe Mario got involved in the match between Goku and Leonardo, inserting them into the whole thing. So we've seen some tag team matches happening lately. I believe last week was Goku and Charmander versus Mario and Leonardo. And then tonight, right now, in your very home, you will be seeing the other half of that whole tag team situation. You'll have Squirtle and Vegeta teaming up against Luigi and Donatello. So that alone, Ben, could sell 1 million buys on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
That's 4 different legendary teams coming together. You have Love Type Connection representing the Pokemon School of Wrestling up in Canada. You have Vegeta from one half of Gogeta. You got the team, the Great Mario Bros, represented by Luigi, our Judge First champion.
Those excellent Mario brothers.
Absolutely. And then you have an Eldritch God wearing purple, Donatello, the brains of the operation. And there's one half of our Movie Club Tag Team Champions, Vegeta, looking, as always, like a terrible Quentin Tarantino botched clone, but also looking ready for action.
Well, Vegeta always looks ready for action. No one really looks forward to a fight, I think, as much as Vegeta.
Absolutely not. Vegeta loves fighting more than all of us love our mothers.
That's probably accurate.
I know for a fact it is. He told me. He grabbed me by the lapel and screamed it in my face.
And Vegeta coming out to the ring here now. With the Movie Club tag title around his waist.
Ben, have you ever seen someone look so grumpy while holding a championship belt?
You know, it's been a while. I can remember a time in my days commentating for some backyard feds that I've seen some people hold titles and look upset.
Well, those are like hacks and losers, Ben. I'm talking about the pros.
Talking about real professionals here.
Yeah. People that have been really trained and respect the business and aren't just messing around on little blue mats calling themselves ridiculous things like Chris Cash. Like people that take their lives and their dignity seriously. Like the Prince of All Saiyans, Vegeta.
And his partner from the city of Atlantis, weighing in at
Ben, I did not know that Squirtle was from Atlantis. You know?
Well, vacations in Atlantis.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
They're built from their vacation spot? Can I
Yeah.
just tell people I'm from Hawaii?
Sure.
I guess nothing's stopping me.
Yeah. No one's stopping you from saying you're from anywhere.
No one's stopping me but my commitment to the truth, Ben. Squirtle, I gotta talk to this person more. I don't know a lot about Squirtle. And I didn't know they even liked Atlantis, you know? I thought maybe it was a little too touristy for them. I mean, it's a little like, I felt like Squirtle maybe would avoid the bougie a little bit, but maybe I don't know Squirtle at all. Maybe we gotta like catch up backstage sometime. You're always talking about talking to people backstage. Maybe I gotta try that.
Well, the thing is that I'm not entirely fluent in speaking Pokemon, so I need to get better at that. I have trouble speaking with Squirtle and Charmander.
Wait a second, Ben. So when Squirrel's out there in the ring and we're translating for the audience, and you're and you're talking about what Squirrel's saying, are you telling me that you're just making some of that up?
Well, see, the thing is that I have our translator in my ear,
Oh.
and they're telling me what Squirtle is saying, but I can't have the translator with me all the time when I'm talking to Squirtle.
Yeah.
Like
You know,
that-
he's got to have a lunch
yeah.
break too.
Yeah, exactly. And the Judge Burge overruled champion Luigi making his way to the ring.
Now that's a guy who's very happy to be a champion. Look at the energy radiating off of this jerk of a man.
You know, I was pretty sure you were going to say that that's a guy who's tough.
Now that guy was rude. Luigi and I, no closer to building a bridge than the two of us, Ben. I don't think we've made any progress in the relationship. But you know what? Luckily, he stopped charging the ringside area when he comes out here, so I feel a little safer just to call him a jerk. It's been a while since I've had my tires slashed. And we hear that menacing wolf howl, Ben. And a turtle appears. A turtle god.
Well, that was actually a turtle howl.
You know what, Ben? I think I just was so frightened that my brain kind of turned off. You know, there's like fight or flight, and I just have freeze. And when I freeze like that, I can no longer properly identify animal sounds. It's kind of a problem when you're scared in the woods, because then you don't really know what you're up against. You just know you're scared. And this,
You shouldn't turn your back on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles either.
Absolutely not. Honestly, I'll argue you shouldn't turn your front on them. They can hurt you no matter which way you're looking.
So this is a bit of a callback here, but I'm going to bring it up to you because I think it's pretty funny. But 44th Pilot saying Vegeta looks like someone tried to 3D print Tommy Wiseau. Also, Pilot, let us know if audio levels are okay and everything. If you can hear us fine, if you can hear game audio fine, or match audio fine.
Yeah, Ben, this is not a game.
I'm sorry,
This is
just a
serious
game. I
stuff
don't
here.
think so.
Yeah, exactly.
You're right. This is way more than that. This is high-level competition. This is no end game. Am I right? This is more than that.
Ben, Squirtle and Vegeta are so close to that pyro. Donatello just used the powers of his mind to cause a fiery explosion on the outside of the ring, and Squirtle and Vegeta just stood there. Honestly, that's a flex if I've ever seen one.
Rarely heard in the
Oh, Ben, look at that smooth counter from the smooth criminal Vegeta.
Ooh.
Luigi, the champ, picked him up for a vertical suplex, but the other champ cinched up a small package and now going for a O'Connor roll there. Vegeta looking to end this early, Ben. That's not like him. Maybe he's realizing that just this next week, he's going to have what Frazier announced is a fatal four-way tag team championship match, and he's like, look, I'm not messing around with you tonight when I have to beat you for the belt along with the other two teams. So let's just get this over with.
Yeah, right? Trying to not waste any extra energy. Just trying to go at it here. And Vegeta looking great. Vegeta looking like they well scouted Luigi there. And getting Squirtle into the action now here.
Yep. They're working together a little bit better than I thought they might. You know, considering that Vegeta doesn't really work that well with anybody, it's a miracle that Goku and him are able to get on the same page long enough to beat Love-Type Connection. But now that I think about it, you know, Vegeta previously had teamed up with, I believe, well, they all teamed up together, but Vegeta and Charmander are a little like oil and water, being that Charmander is a very...
I also like Charmander.
Charmander, it's like Calamander.
Yeah.
Charmander's a very soft, sweet boy, Ben, and Vegeta is the exact opposite. And Vegeta has no patience for Charmander's tendency to be a little bit of an anxious mess. Whereas Squirtle is the half of the team that's a little bit more self-assured, a little bit more like nose to the grindstone, and I think that might appeal to Vegeta, so they might be a better working tag team than it had been the other way around.
And the Turtle here having quite a size advantage over Squirtle. Squirtle looking okay, but you know, the TMET person.
Representative.
I was trying to think of a good, you know, a good pronoun for that or whatever, but or adjective.
Yeah,
What's
it would be
adjective.
Well, no, it wouldn't be an adjective. You know what? Vegeta's choking Donatello.
You're right. Sorry, why are we concerned about English?
Much like the words are getting caught in our throat, the air is getting caught in Donatello's throat. But the thing is, Ben, that might backfire or really just like not fire, because I'm not convinced the Eldritch Turtles need air. I've heard rumor that they can survive the vacuum of space.
If only we had a extraterrestrial match.
Yeah. Well, space is exactly what Vegeta needs right now. He's caught in the wrong side of town, starring Dave Bautista. He's caught there between two mean green fighting machines, and
I think that might be the most ambitious crossover event that Dave Bautista's ever been in.
I think so too. It had him and two other wrestlers. All the way crossed over. Oh, Ja Rule's there too. Luigi putting the boots to Vegeta. Trying to, you know, maybe have a little bit of a belt measuring contest with the other champion. Vegeta sweeping out that leg. Turtlenecking Luigi up. It's honestly, among all the things that I think people can be impressed by about Luigi, the fact that he keeps that backwards hat on the entire time is special.
Never comes off. Oh, that stop too there.
Yeah, innovative tag team offense. While Vegeta held Luigi still in a headlock, Squirtle came off the top rope with a double stomp to the back. I legitimately have never seen that before. It's always fun, Ben, when you watch two people that don't normally team up together in a tag team situation, because they come up with weird stuff that they wouldn't normally. Like, you wouldn't see Squirtle and Charmander doing that, and I don't think you'd see Goku and Vegeta doing it, but these two just got together and said, you know what, screw it. I'll grab a headlock, you jump off and stomp on his back.
Oh.
Squirtle hanging up Luigi on the ropes. Donatello looking quite unsettled by that. Desperate for a tag. You know, I think the Turtles are not often used to not being in control.
And Squirtle tumbled to the outside. Luigi going after instead of going for the tag here.
You know, Ben, I'm curious, not only, you know, next week it'll remain to be seen which one of these four teams are going to win that chaotic match for the Tag Team Championships, but even for the sake of tonight, Ben, I'm curious to see who the fans have got, if you will. So if you're in the chat, you want to go ahead and let me know who you got? And then, Ben, would you want to go ahead and let me know who you got?
Well, I gotta tell you, I'm gonna go with the with our team of Luigi and you know, 1/4 of the TMET, because I just think that I mean, we have seen moments here of Vegeta being a good teammate, but overall, I've been surprised that Vegeta was able to be as successful as a team with Goku. And now here we are with a complete stranger. Not to mention that Squirtle has to have a little bit of hard feelings. You know, Vegeta has Squirtle's belt.
That's true.
And so I just think that there's less bad blood here between the Mario Bros and the TMET.
That's true. Yeah, they have not. I mean, they did have that kind of rivalry earlier in the year when they were both vying for who was going to take on Love Type Connection and Al-In. But I think enough months have passed, especially in wrestling time, where I think maybe they're less focused on each other and more focused on these other two teams. They're willing to let bygones be bygones if it means they get to beat up on a self-proclaimed good guy.
Luigi thinking about going after Vegeta, but realizing going after Squirtle maybe is a better move.
Yeah, Squirtle looking quite incapacitated, Ben. I've never seen a turtle so motionless, and they're kind of known for not moving a lot.
Pilot saying hoping for Vegeta and Squirtle, but not confident.
Yeah, I imagine that's probably the feelings of many a fan in this elementary school gymatorium here tonight. You know, both well-liked teams, but they're up against pretty big odds with Luigi and Donatello. Squirtle holding their head after knocking down Luigi. Looks like they're going to be able to make that tag, and they do. Tagging Vegeta back in after having been stuck on the defensive for quite a bit. So maybe this will turn the tides that they need back in their favor. Luigi setting up an Irish whip to Luigi in the corner. Big boot as Squirtle drops down to give him room. Dragging Luigi to the center of the ring. And that's a competitor, Ben, that you want to choke. Luigi for sure breathes air.
And one half of the Movie Club Tag Champions throwing the Judge Bridge Champion into the corner, but a reversal, a forearm to the back, and now...
Ben, what is this? Ooh. Big back suplex. Luigi, I gotta say, is looking at the top of his game tonight. Video or otherwise. Big Goomba stomp off the top rope, scuttling back in for the pin, and that could be all she wrote. Squirtle trying to break it up. Donatello looking ahead with that. Oh, never mind. Wait, oh no, he's climbing up on their corner. Oh, thought better of it with Squirtle hung up on those ropes. Thought he maybe do something like this instead. Sweep the leg. Oh no, Ben, what is this? Ooh. Oh! That is something you never want to happen to your windpipe. But big insecurity from Vegeta Luigi. It's breaking down here. Chaotic.
And Vegeta going for a cover.
And Donatello, oh, okay, there we go. I was going to say Donatello had just gotten out of the apron, so it might have taken too much time to get back in there and break it up. But lucky for them, Luigi still had enough gas in the tank to get out of that situation. Luigi trying again to put Luigi in the corner. Successful this time. Reverse STO into the buckle. Here we go. Setting up. What's this here? Here we go, lifting him up. Feet getting caught on the ropes there. That might have allowed Luigi to get out of there. Inverted DDT. You know, that might have disrupted Vegeta's setting up for his finisher.
I would say so. And Luigi looking to set up for something big here right now.
What is this? Big flying drop kick of the pop-up variation, Ben.
Squirtle is still out on the outside right now. Luigi
that does not
going
bode well
for
for
the
Vegeta.
cover.
And Luigi and Donatello pick up the win. That's the last thing you want to have happen when you're going into a four-way tag title match next week, Ben, at the big show. Vegeta just got pinned 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, half of the Movie Club Tag Champions eating the pin there, but I guess we'll just have to see if Goku fares better later on in tonight.
Is Goku in action tonight?
That's what my schedule
yes,
said that I got for
you're
Frazier.
You're right. Yes, the other, I think I maybe misspoke earlier. The other half of this tag team thing with the 8 different competitors and the 4 different teams, that's happening later on tonight. It'll be Goku and Charmander versus Leonardo and Mario. That did not already happen. That's going to happen later tonight. That's good to know. I am Boo Boo the Fool. And Luigi and Donatello looking anything but fools.
Yeah, looking like a good tag team, but they're gonna have to face each other next
true.
week here at the big show.
Yeah, they won't be. If any of them are celebrating next week, it will not be together.
Well, and as we move on in the night here, We're gonna keep trying to keep things going. Hopefully, no more backstage brawls tonight.
You can only pray.
Please, just hoping everything goes the way it's supposed to go. We'll see. Actually, what we have coming up next here is this is Al versus the opponent that Trunks picked.
Yes, the first of our 2 Pick Your Poison matches is about to begin. Ben, it's, with these kinds of matches, everyone has a little bit of a different strategy going in these kinds of things, because the idea, is that you're picking your future opponent for the night.
Yes.
Especially when it's the week before your big title match. Most people, Ben, would pick the absolute biggest challenge, whether that's physically or emotionally, to their opponent, to try to rattle them or damage them before you have to face them. I kind of feel like that's not going to be Trunks and Al's game plan tonight, considering that while they're going to be rivals next week, they are friends.
Yeah, well, exactly. And I think what this is really going to come down to is it's going to be about picking an opponent that you believe is going to really push, the other person.
Yeah. Maybe you're not out to maim your future opponent, but you definitely don't want to give them a night off, because they're certainly not going to do the same for you.
And let's return to the ring here.
I'm very excited to see not only our men's champion Weird Al in action, because that's always a treat, much like the treats that he has been bringing up to the commentary booth lately, like these little Hershey's candies. But also, Ben, to see who Trunks picked for Al to face.
Prestigious, non-stop, super heavyweight, worldwide, junior, rated R champion, Alpha champion.
You got any guesses for who you think Al's going to face?
Dennis Nedry. And it's Piccolo!
And his
Close.
opponent,
Weighing in at 200. That's what Trunks said to me when I picked a member of the Jurassic Park Indie Federation, but instead we get Trunks' longtime friend Piccolo. This, Ben, is the perfect pick for what you described. Someone who is going to push Weird Al. This is exactly who Trunks should have selected. This is a great call by the number 1 contender.
Well, yeah, and Piccolo coming out here wearing that those weighted robes, So I assume that Piccolo's going to take these off here for the match. We're going to find out. Piccolo known to fight in them as well.
Yeah.
But that gives you a huge speed advantage. When your muscles are used to a certain weight, all of a sudden you drop them. That's a lot of times, I don't know if you're aware of this, but that's a lot of times why when you watch the baseball indie federations, a lot of times they have these weights on their bats when they're like getting warmed up before they go out to bat.
That's true. My favorite hardcore wrestler is Chris Sale.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's a good pull for you.
Thank you.
And now here we go, Weird Al versus Piccolo.
Speaking of good pulls, Piccolo pulling the champion in and delivering a neckbreaker. That's a hell of a way to start this off and show the champion you mean business. And you're here to represent your friend Trunks. Ben, is Piccolo wearing his belt backwards?
I think that that's a fashion choice.
It's a fashion choice that should be reconsidered and made differently next week.
Well, what are you going to do? Sometimes, in the heat of the moment when you're getting ready to come out to the ring, sometimes you just...
Oh.
I don't know. Have you never, put something on backwards or, put a T-shirt on backwards and not realized it?
No, Ben, I'm a perfect being. If I'm lying, I'm flying, and my feet ain't left the ground. Piccolo leaving the ground, though. This stretch from Weird Al, bending the spine and applying pressure to the throat as well as his hand. But Piccolo flipping out of it into a pinning position, but Weird Al has taken basically no damage so far in this match, so not even a 1 count off that. I believe this is the first time, Ben, that Weird Al has fought the Namekian Warrior Piccolo, or anyone else from Planet Namek for that matter. But Weird Al has maybe more experience than anyone else in the roster with fighting Saiyans. So it's in his wheelhouse. It's in the ballpark of his wheelhouse.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And also, it's been a while since we've seen Piccolo, But Piccolo, a veteran, definitely gotten a lot of chances to watch Weird Al and see Weird Al's in-ring ability.
Yeah, Piccolo is the ideal lower card wrestler in that he stands by and watches every other match on these shows, whether he's competing or not. That was Ben. Weird Al just delivered an axe handle to the crown of Piccolo's head. I don't think I've ever seen him use that move, and also it was so effective, Ben. Weird Al, I don't know if he even knows his own
Now
strength
the walls
sometimes.
of Polka locked in.
Yep, that's not where the challenger Piccolo wants to be, but able to
Ooh.
power out of it.
Flipping out onto the ropes there, and Piccolo saying, "Get up."
Yeah, bring it on. Then Weird Al brings it on with an elbow to the face. Collar and elbow tie up, Piccolo pushing it back, and defaulting to the right hand. It's interesting, Ben, watching them go from, like, let's wrestle to I'm going to hit you in your face.
I got a little interesting update here from Pilot in the chat, saying that actually in karate there is a blue belt, but then the backwards blue belt is actually higher, as
Ben.
far as like as a knowledge of fighting skill.
Ben, are we underpaying Piccolo?
There's probably a good chance of that.
If they're a backwards blue belt, I feel like they maybe like deserve a little bit more respect around here. Piccolo Dangerfield.
Well, yes, that's a good point. And I mean, but Piccolo obviously could show the AHHWF universe tonight, taking on Weird Al, beating the champion. That kind of shows that he deserves to have a little more respect.
Yeah,
there.
and honestly, even against fan favorite Weird Al, oh wow, code breaker from Weird Al after coming in through those ropes.
Codebreaker out of nowhere.
That's a
and
big surprise
1,
for Piccolo.
2, ooh.
And kicks out. That's really showing Piccolo's mettle. But yeah, I was gonna say even against Weird Al, the fans seem to be responding well to Piccolo. They like him. They know him. They love him.
What is Piccolo's medal? Metallica? Judas Priest?
I think Piccolo might be a Judas Priest guy.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Piccolo thinking about what his favorite metal band is.
Do I prefer Kill 'Em All or fuck, I can't think of the what's the funny one? Death Magnetic. That's the one
Yeah.
that I thought would be fun to reference, but it took too long. And what's not taking too long is Weird Al getting back on the offensive with a big lion salt.
Vote for another cover here.
Much like when I was talking about with Luigi's hat, Weird Al just did a full backflip off the ropes wearing sunglasses, and those did not move. Those things didn't budge.
You know, I'll give you a little hint here that I've learned from my friend Weird Al. Is that, so the hair's long, Weird Al.
Yeah.
Those sunglasses are actually like wraparound, like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar style.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Weird Al's got everything figured out, huh? Just like that second code breaker to Piccolo. He might have just figured out what it's going to take to win this pick your poison match. That's 1, 2, and a 3 from coworker Brian, and that means then the Weird Al has just proven he's immune to poison.
Yes.
Trunks gave his best shot by picking Piccolo, and you know, that Piccolo wasn't enough.
Piccolo looking pretty good in that match, I gotta say, but you know, it's hard when you get hit with that many code breakers.
Yeah. Personally,
to
I don't
come
think
out
I've
of
ever
it.
taken that many code breakers. I'm sure you haven't either.
I mean, you'd be surprised.
Yeah, things get real gnarly down at the RME, and you start busting out code breakers. I prefer the White Album. Yeah, some fun highlights from that match. Definitely an entertaining exhibition matchup, but the champion coming out on top, which bodes well for Weird Al coming into the big show next week.
Yeah, you know, don't ask me, because I don't know yet. Obviously, I'm friends with Weird Al, but I have no idea who's going to win that match.
I feel like, Ben, that maybe I will ask you, because I feel like you're lying. I feel like you know.
Well,
deep down
obviously,
in your-
Weird Al's going to win, am I right?
I feel like you know deep down in your heart who you think's gonna win. You know, you don't gotta play coy. We all know. It's just like, you know, Ben, you have a very similar relationship to Weird Al that Jim Ross had with Steve Austin. You know,
yeah, that is
everyone,
true.
It's
That is
well
true.
documented friendship. We're all here for it.
Yeah, well, and I mean, I like Trunks. Trunks is a great competitor. Okay.
Trunks is a fine man.
Trunks is a fine man. He's really good friends with my kids.
I'm not even friends with your kids.
Well, I try to not bring them around too often. But I mean, Trunks is a good guy, all right. But Weird Al is the champion. Weird
Not
Al
wrong.
is the champion. In my mind, like, no one has a better record than Weird Al.
Well, someone's probably got a better. Like, I think the people in the roster made everyone like 1-1 lost.
No, I'm saying like a record as a champion.
Oh.
The amount of times that Weird Al has retained
Yes.
that AHHWF Men's Championship.
Yeah, even
It's
after
unprecedented.
Yeah, even after losing it once, there's way more times that he's successfully defended it than not. And I think you're right that he's had more successful defenses than just about anybody.
Yes. Oh, well, Chris, you want to let them know what we have coming up here now?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'll
sure,
just
I
show
will.
him.
No, I will. We've got that the promised tag team match, the fated place, if you will. Goku and Charmander against Mario and Leonardo. Hopefully, Ben, for the sake of all that is good and wholesome in this world, Goku and Charmander pull this one out and even the score against those dastardly Turtles and Plumbers. Ben, Turtles and Plumbers used to be mortal enemies back in the early days of Martin
That
Luther's
is true.
career.
Yeah.
How the turntables.
Turtles and Plumbers also sounds like a great indie rock album.
From out of this world, weighing in at 220
Goku really is out of this world.
One half
Well, yeah,
of
both
the
in a literal
tag
and
team
metaphorical
Grand Prix
sense.
champion.
Look at the pecs on Goku, Ben. I don't mean to objectify our competitors here, but like, wow. That man is stacked.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'm not going to argue with you on it.
Goku looking ready for business. Goku got his game face on. This music gets like funkier than I ever noticed.
That's a Goku remix.
Yeah.
Right there.
I like it. They got this on Apple Music.
Play this in the club.
If there's one thing I'm known for, Ben, it's frequenting clubs. And Goku representing the best club, the movie club. What'd y'all watch this week on Movie Club, Ben? What can the fine listeners, viewers of this program, go
And
enjoy
his
on the Movie Club
partner
podcast that those
from
tag team
Japan,
title belts represent?
weighing
Well,
in
when you
at
type Alien Happy Hour into the
220
podcast app of your choice,
The
the chat room comes up and Movie Club comes up. And Movie Club, we watched Snatch.
Oh, yeah,
The
yeah.
Brad Pitt joint.
I've heard wonderful things. Never seen it.
Yeah, I mean, it was on my 100 movies to watch poster.
There you go.
And I enjoyed it. I wouldn't necessarily say it's like a must-watch, but it was a fine movie.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
speaking of things we're gonna watch, Ben, we're about to see two of our top 100 competitors try to snatch a victory here from the jaws of defeat. I'm Segway King.
Yes, you are.
They're not good, but they're plenty. I make a lot of them. It's quantity, not quality, around these parts.
And while the other competitors are making their way to the ring here, I actually got word from Fraser Crane that he is forcing Wario to compete tonight.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I mean,
Finally addressing this whole like Wario being a running champion, not running in a good way.
yeah. No, Wario, the last couple weeks, he challenged, he fought Big Dog, but would not make it a title match, even though the Hardcore Championship, when held by Shaggy, was defended constantly. Literally at any time he ran up on Shaggy, even at a Subway, you could challenge him for the belt.
Yeah.
Which, like, that's
And
the
I
kind of
gotta tell
champion
you,
you want.
Shaggy's Subway matches,
It's
amazing.
incredible. You gotta
Amazing.
go find your tape trader indie friends and see if you can get a hold of some of those, because
Yeah.
those were top notch.
I wish we had been live at the time that those were going on.
Yeah, I was busy getting my hoagie, not paying attention, but yeah. So Wario said, look, I'll face Big Dog, but he's not getting a chance at the title. And then when Big Dog won, Frazier's like, great, now give him a shot at the title. And instead, Wario jumped in backstage in, what is now apparently the new rule of the land is that you can just attack people in the hallway whenever you feel like it. So that kind of ruined things. And Big Dog, Ben, as far as I understand, was massively injured. I believe it was a headbutt. I'm not exactly clear. I don't remember. It's been a long time, but I think Wario delivered a headbutt that took Big Dog down and he wasn't moving. And there's no word then on if Big Dog will ever return or not.
Yeah, well, all we know as of right now is that Big Dog is not cleared for in-ring competition, and that is putting it lightly. And we here at HHWF, we wish Big Dog the quickest and best recovery possible. But yeah, I mean, at this point, we really don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Then seeing any dog, especially a big one, suffer is just so rough. You know what I mean?
It's not something you want to see, especially in like a celebratory time like this on the road to the big show. But,
yeah. It just Wario showing that there is bite in addition to his bark. But I don't know. You gotta hope someone sends Wario to a kennel somewhere.
You can only hope. But we will see Wario in action later tonight. But first, we have this match, a little more tag team action for you here. This is quite the show tonight here. We're not even at our end game, our last match yet.
No, yeah, it's if you thought we were giving you a big spectacular next week for the big show, you're getting something resembling that here tonight even. Everyone on the roster is jazzed. We're jazzed. We hope you're jazzed. It's just an exciting time of year for us fans of Alien Happy Hour Wrestling Federation. And many of us, we are fans.
And fans of jazz.
That's true. Mario starting things off strong here against Goku. And, much like I said about the last kind of mix-up pairing with Vegeta and Squirtle, Ben, I think these two are a good fit, too. Goku and Charmander, both the happy-go-lucky, easygoing members of their teams, and also both with orange prevalent in their look. That's got to count for something in terms of getting along, don't you think?
I do think so. Sorry, I'm just busy telling the Twitterverse what's going on HHWF.
It's an important thing to do. I'm glad you're doing it. I just know from experience that when I'm at work in my job and someone else is wearing orange and I'm wearing orange, we cooperate a little bit better. I think there's a little bit of extra cohesion there.
Oh, totally. I often try to wear the same thing as my coworkers.
Big spin kick from Goku to the leader of the Eldritch Gods before setting him to his buckle, his corner, to tag Charmander in. And will we see some fresh new offense? Oh, bam! Hitting Goku subbing in for Squirtle to hit Love Type Connections Total Elimination Tag Team Finisher, followed up by the leg drop on Charmander.
Your color theory idea could be what happened with Luigi and Donatello.
That's what I'm thinking. Is they both lots of green.
Yeah. And
here, green and red, that don't mix. That's nothing.
Not this time of year, it doesn't.
That's true. And Charmander.
As we look at our beautiful Alien Happy Hour logo.
That's green and orange.
Green and orange, green and orange.
Charmander there with a surprising reversal. Leonardo setting up for a back suplex of some kind, and Charmander coming over to the Bulldog. And now dropping a knee into the shell of Leonardo. Oh, ow. Big running STO in the corner right in front of Goku. And because Goku's like a law-abiding citizen, there's not much he can do about it, watching his partner get taken down right in front of his face that way. Mario tagged in with Leonardo, shooting Charmander off the ropes. Big double Benoit X.
Redacted X?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mario made a gesture there, Ben, that I'm not quite sure how to read. I'm pretty good at people's body language, but I'm not sure what was going through the head of the Super Red Plumber there. The fans happy to see things swing back in the favor of these two over here. Charmander, another tag team move he often does with Squirtle, interesting to see that when Vegeta and Squirtle teamed up, they're making up new stuff on the fly, whereas Charmander's saying, you know what, Goku, you can be Squirtle for the night. Let's do Old Faithful 1 through 3.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess Charmander going, you know what, these are tested moves. These are tested moves against the, excellent Mario siblings, and and so just saying this should be our strategy. And Goku, more of a pleaser than Vegeta.
Yeah, Goku's willing to go along with the ride. Vegeta kind of wants to do his own thing. Mario getting the foot up just in time to stop Goku coming at him. Snapmare towards the corner and a kick to the spine. That one looked like it took a lot out of Goku there, which is the perfect time to tag in a vicious God Turtle. It's interesting, Ben, with teams like, oh wow, Goku firing back to the strike rush on Leonardo. Setting up here, is he going for that Kamehameha? There it goes. Fires it up. Ooh. Right to the chest of Leonardo.
Mario beside himself. Did you see that on the side?
Well, yeah. If you're in a tag team match and your partner gets hit with one of those, this match might be over for you. You might be heading to the back sooner rather than later.
Goku taking time for the pin, though. That might be a downfall.
And Mario coming in, breaking up. Oh, Goku goes to give him a calf kick, but he missed. Mario got out of the way too fast. Charmander making eye contact with Mario. Leonardo getting a boot up to the top of Goku's head and flattening him with a clothesline. Leonardo, then, is such a threat. You never want to take your eye off that particular ball for even a second. But the point I was going to make before the whole Kamehameha action got started was that I'm surprised we haven't seen more dissension in the ranks between the Turtles and the Plumbers, because they have not gotten along very well in the past, and they tend to not really get along with anyone other than their family members. But they've gotten along well, and what is this? Here's some innovation. Bam! A vertical suplex roundhouse kick combination. Maybe, to the point of earlier, like, the tested stuff was working well, but not enough. So they took a page out of Squirtle and Vegeta's book. Let's try some new stuff. See what the two of us can come up with together. Ben, what is this? Charmander hooking Mario up from the apron, deadlift Falcon Arrow.
The strength that it took to do that.
That was incredible. Mario is no small boy, and to lift him up like that and bring him up over the top from the apron to the mat. Yeah, this is all Charmander right now. Here we go. Seismic toss. Coworker Brown's arguing with Leonardo over something. He's missing that. God, Leonardo. Ben, these turtles. They have.
Charmander had the win there, but the Turtles doing a little cheating.
Turtles fight without honor, Ben. Contrary to what they might have told you in certain animated specials, Turtles fight without honor. And I, for one, am sick of it. Big back body drop from Mario to Charmander. Things are not looking as good as they were a minute ago for our orange heroes.
Mario dropping Charmander into the corner. Charmander bouncing off for a moment, but now...
Mario teeing off on Charmander. Oh no, what is this, Ben? 3D from Mario and Leonardo.
Donnie, get the tables. Or Leo, get the tables.
You know, it's a good thing that Donatello's not out here to make this any worse. There actually might get tables involved, even though the Turtles have had kind of a spotty history with tables. Oh no, Leonardo getting ahead of steam with those strikes. And Charmander coming back though. I think it helped that Leonardo missed that last one, gave Charmander a second to snap out of it and recover.
Charmander trying to get the tag there, but Leo fighting out of it, and now taking it back over to the other corner.
Oh, and just prying on the head and neck of Charmander. Look at those big eyes in danger, Ben. You hate to see it. Look, those big Disney Zooey Deschanel eyes. Thank you, Charmander. Fight back. I was overcome with sympathy for a moment.
Ooh. Charmander could just not get the upper hand for longer than a split second.
Yeah, Charmander has a lot of strength as a competitor, but maybe not the best pure striker in the game. Big double back body drop from his two opponents.
Goku trying to just reach for a tag, but no luck. Charmander
what is this,
just
Ben?
Dazed.
Running Goomba
Ooh.
stop for Charmander. That's the move that's won Mario championships in the past. Goku, and yeah, Goku knows that better than anyone. Big backbreaker to the Saiyan. Mario and Luigi, Ben, in particular.
Oh no, this is not a good spot for them to be in right now.
Oh, Ben taking a big risk and it does not pay off. Big miss, 630 from Mario onto the martini glass and a seismic toss of that martini glass.
And Charmander now going for the cover.
Oh, just in time. That was absolutely going to be it for that team if Leonardo did not interfere in that. Hook him up. Suplex. That was risky for Mario there. Oh, smart move of Mario to get out of that ring. Slides back in, trying to disorient Charmander. Looks like it paid off. Trading a suplex of his own. And taunting Charmander. Standing over the former champ's body. Oh no. Ben, is he trying for it again? Is this absolute madman trying for it again? This time Charmander's closer. He might do it. Oh, goes for a safer move and misses again. Charmander saying, I'm not selling any of your stuff. Here we go. Oh, big clothesline. Another big clothesline. Mario hitting those ropes. Calf kick, leg lariat.
Goku finally back up onto the rope.
Desperate for that tag, reaching in as far as he can go without breaking the rules. Charmander's not moving, Ben.
Mario just like telling Charmander, get up, I dare you.
Ben, has Charmander fainted? I've heard rumor that Pokemon sometimes faint. Oh, there we go. He's stirring. Charmander crawling to safety from Mario. Pushing him off. You gotta get that tag, Charmander. Get to Goku.
But Charmander, not the wise decision. Deciding to go after Mario instead of going for the opportunity to get the tag to Goku.
Will that pay off? Twisting under DDT. We've seen DDT successful earlier in the night. Ah, not here. Speaking of, Ben, you know, you hate to hear it, but I'm also hearing now that Judy Hopps might have been severely injured by that DDT on the floor from Samus. It's you know, our medical staff is getting overworked these days. The competition only gets fiercer around here around the time of the big show.
Yeah, well, it's, you know, those backstage brawls, they are unlike your normal in-ring competition, you know. You're not prepared for them. In the case of Samus just attacking Judy Hopps from behind, Judy was not ready for it. And those hard surfaces, you know, that concrete, it's just not the same as getting dropped in the ring here.
Especially not on that reinforced martini glass. Goku coming in and
Goku
stopping Leonardo. Hurricane Run. Oh, and still not enough.
Goku was able to cut off Leo, but Charmander couldn't get the pin there. Mario kicking out. But now, a little double team action on Mario.
Yeah, single knee code breaker from Goku. Shades of Weird Al. Half a tribute. A one knee tribute. Oh, Mario dodging. Sending Charmander to the corner. And hanging him up on the top rope. Mario, Ben, has been dominating Charmander. Mario's trying to get warmed up for that big battle royal involving all the former Judge Bridge champions and the picks of our Patreon supporters. If you are a Patreon patron, or you'd like to become one, you too can vote on other people that will be joining all the former champions in the Judge Bridge title match battle royal next week at the big show. And Mario, if nothing else, is looking like he's in ship shape for that match.
Yes, yeah. And you could get that for just $5 a month. That'll also get you all the podcasts earlier than everything else, along with some behind-the-scenes footage. I just posted a picture a little bit ago of how our AHHWF setup works here in the gymatorium.
That's some neat stuff there. Mario up on the top rope in their corner, diving over Charmander to attack Goku. Ben, Mario's got to stop going for the top rope. He's looking like a clown. He's missed 3 high-rank district attacks.
But Mario throwing strikes there on the outside, going in after Goku. Goku not looking. Oh, wait. In the grand tradition of AHHWF, when you say someone's out, they are not.
Here we go. Big German suplex to the bridge, folding over into a pin. Oh.
I'm surprised that didn't end it. I think that maneuver, surprised Leonardo. Leonardo was like, what the hell's going on right now?
And here we go, Ben. Goku hoisting up Mario's foot. Bam! Spinning roundhouse kick. That back kick is deadly. 1, 2, 3, and there we go. Goku and Charmander. And Leonardo fed up, but, you know, he chose the wrong time to leave Mario to his own devices and didn't break that up. Goku and Charmander, so that evened it up from the two team mix-ups we had tonight. That evens the score. Goku and Charmander picked one up for the Love type and Gogeta half, and Luigi and Donatello picked it up for the Mario Bros. And Turtles half. But next week at the Big Show event, it's every team for themselves.
Yeah. Pilot, noticing that Charmander's performance in this ring tonight was similar to that of his performance fighting in the Pokemon movie.
I've not studied those tapes for a while. You'll have to remind me, Ben, how Charmander fared in that.
I was kind of hoping that you would be the one that would remember it.
Pilot, just tell us how Charmander did in that movie. But, you know, one thing's for sure, I'm proud of how Charmander did tonight. You know, it can be hard to work with somebody new when you're accustomed to working with your romantic partner. And Charmander and Goku did great tonight. As predicted, good chemistry between the two, and a winning effort here. Always nice to see.
Always nice to see. And rolling right along here tonight, this is a jam-packed show.
It really, truly is.
And up next, we have a title defense.
Yeah, Wario being forced to defend the Hardcore Championship for the first time in, honestly, like, forever. I think since Mr. Cleantine's Day, when he last defended it against Shaggy. But Fraser Crane said enough of this dodging matches nonsense. You know, Big Dog earned a shot, and you took him out of contention. So, I don't care who it's against, but you need to defend the title. So, and Ben, it looks like Wario has taken yet another cheap shot, another easy way out, and has picked Waluigi to be his opponent, which, you know, I can't say I'm surprised, and I can't say it's not smart. You know, when Frazier gets fed up with you, not to say, I don't care who it's against, and a master tactician like Wario is, of course, going to be like, well, then who's my friend? Who can I get to just maybe go out and lay down for me so I can have an easy night off and retain my title?
And so Wario found the one person in this company that would be that person.
The only person that can stand this chump, Waluigi. Are they brothers, Ben?
Brothers in arms.
That's absolutely true. And, you know, it remains to be seen how much their arms will even be used tonight. But Wario, you know, fulfilling his obligation to Frazier and his contract, coming out for a hardcore title match action against Waluigi.
Making his way to the ring from Brooklyn, New York, weighing in at 500 pounds, the rated R
Ben,
Hardcore
is that
Champion.
who? Is that who I think it is? Ben, is that?
Oh my God!
John Wick attacking Wario with a kendo stick, Ben! Ben, the crowd erupting as John Wick has entered the AHHWF Impact Zone. Ben, he jumped the champion, has entered with a Singapore cane, knocking the title belt loose, banging his head against the apron. Ben, oh no. Did Wario awaken the boogeyman? Was the big dog John Wick's dog?
I mean, that's kind of what it seems to be right now, doesn't it?
We had no idea that our friend and yours, the big dog, had that kind of lofty origin. Ben, he's got friends in high places, or low places if you believe in the hell that this hitman resides in. And John Wick and Wario going at it after John Wick's attack. Ben, I'm getting word from Fraser Crane. Ben, Frazier knew about this. Frazier, when Big Dog was taken out, John Wick contacted Frazier and said, I want revenge on the guy that hurt my dog. And Frazier said, you know what, I'm fed up with him, go for it. And John Wick catches...
Oh my God.
Ben.
John Wick caught Wario in mid-air. You realize that is a large man flying at you, and he caught him like it was a small child jumping from a jungle gym.
Ben, no one has yet had an answer for Wario's rear window. John Wick just caught him out of the air and delivered a nasty backbreaker that won him that fight. Ben, according to Fraser Crane, what we just saw, John Wick is challenging Wario for the Hardcore Championship next week at the Big Show. My God, that show gets better and better. And as Pilot's saying in the chat, you just got wicked.
Yeah, that should be a sign right there.
Yeah, Ben, HHWF just got wicked. I cannot wait. Ben, if there was one person who I think could avenge Shaggy and the rest of us and beat Wario to take that hardcore title back, it's John Wick. We just saw him show up on his first night and shock the world, Ben. John Wick has shocked the world.
I love the road to the big show, Chris.
It's so exciting.
I really do.
As if there wasn't enough to look forward to next week, John Wick versus Wario in a hardcore match for the hardcore title. John Wick is going to beat the hell out of Wario, and I, for one, can't wait. He's going to avenge the big dog and his wife probably too. And I can only assume that Wario, like, made faces at his wife in a restaurant once.
Yeah. Well, Wario also probably dinged his car at some point or another, Wario, honestly, it's rare that Wario goes longer than 15 minutes without doing something dastardly.
It's true. And speaking of Wario's dastardly actions, we're seeing the former hardcore champion who's victim to plenty of them, Shaggy, come out to address the fans for the first time in months. We've not heard Shaggy speak in a long time. Coming out looking motivated though.
And Chris, what does Shaggy have to say here to HHWF Universe?
So Shaggy said, it's been a long time, and he's sorry he hasn't been out here in front of the fans in a long time, but he's had to get his mind right after losing the Hardcore Championship and coming up short at the Rumble Pack. But he's come up with just the right way to do that, Ben. He wants to give the fans a true showcase at the big show and give them a special treat for always supporting him. And what he has in his mind, Ben, is that he was famous for his undefeated streak. And there was once upon a time another person on this roster who was also famous for undefeated streak. Ben, Shaggy would like to address right now and challenge Crash Bandicoot to a one-on-one match at the big show. Shaggy asking if the fans would like to see that, and I'm hearing enthusiastic responses from the people in the building here tonight. They're chanting "He's hardcore," referencing the former champion, possibly also Crash Bandicoot, another fan favorite. And making chants, clapping people on their feet. Shaggy saying he's incredibly excited about that possibility, and
I would totally love to see this match. I'm currently trying to work on our issues that we're having here on the camera front, and I think I'm getting it figured out. Thank you for bearing with us on that.
Crash Bandicoot looks like, at the very least answering this immediate challenge to come out here, but we'll see what the fan favorite happy-go-lucky Bandicoot has to say about the match itself. Crash is giving it the mic. These two have never been face-to-face, Ben. This is exciting.
Yeah, two HHWF legends.
Crash saying, "You want a match with me at the big show?" Well, Crash says this. Nah. Ben, that's not like Crash at all. He just came out and said no? That's a Shigo move, Ben, not a Crash Bandicoot move.
Well, I guess Crash taking a page out of Shigo's book on this. I don't know.
Shaggy saying, "Look, man, what's up with you? You used to take on all comers. Don't tell me you're scared of little old me." And he'd have a right to be, Ben, if he were, but I don't think that's the issue here. Crash, not known for being afraid of anybody. Shaggy looks like he's trying to get him to reconsider. Ben, it sounds like Crash is saying, Shaggy's a flavor of the month that's already gone sour. He lost to Wario over and over, and quite frankly, Shaggy's beneath him. Those are... Ben, this attitude from Crash is nothing we've ever seen from him before, and especially to be disrespectful to Shaggy of all people.
Yeah, insulting the former hardcore champion.
Shaggy pointing the finger right in Crash's face saying, "How can you say that when you've never held a title?" Ben, these two legends, I thought this was going to go a lot differently than it is. I thought it'd be like, "You're on, let's do this, let's have a show for the fans," but these two getting real personal. These two do not like each other the way I thought they might.
Yeah, Shaggy really coming at Crash here, and Crash responding.
Crash saying, I've never been low enough on the card to go for the hardcore title, so I wouldn't know. Is it... Ben. The
Attacking
bars.
not only Shaggy, but attacking the hardcore
An entire
champion.
division. Crash is like, you know what? I'm done with this. I'm gonna leave. I'm not taking your match. Find someone else to face. Shaggy saying, Ben, I guess it's not just matches you tap out of. You're also tapping out of this. And Ben, that I think is about to set Crash off like nothing else. That look at Crash, Ben. He's stunned. No one has ever directly called him out for the fact that he, frankly, has a terrible record against submissions. Shaggy cutting right to the bone there. Ben, what's he? Yeah, Crash said, you're on. No holds barred. And then punched Shaggy across the mouth. Ben, these two are not going to wait for the big show. They both said too much. It's gotten too real. And they're fighting right here, right now. Let's get some kind of order out here. Get a referee out.
Yeah, Brian.
Oh, no.
Put down the parfait. Get back out there.
Deadlift Dr. Bomb from Crash Bandicoot and posing over Shaggy. Ben, Crash Bandicoot has turned over a new leaf, and I, for one, do not like the color of it. Big back body drop from the former champ, Shurgi the Scooby Snack himself, showing he's not going to be taken advantage of that way. For their people's champ. Oh no, Crash Bandicoot catching the leg. Ben, these two legends, these two icons are gonna have a no holds barred match. And Shades, you know, that's, if anything, that's a preview of it right there. Crash Bandicoot clotheslining Shaggy on the floor and having to be restrained physically by the referee. Crash pushing Brian out of the way, trying to get to Shaggy. Ben, this is chaos. A no holds barred match between the two of these two after the words they just exchanged. I don't know if coworker Brian, father Brian, or any Brian is going to be able to keep that match under control.
Yeah, I do not envy the referee that has to be in there.
Whew.
All right, yeah, I'm working on it. We're having our truck cannot seem to handle the action tonight. There we go.
We should hire a different truck,
Yes,
perhaps
we
Mater
should.
of Cars fame.
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
But Ben, it's time now for our main event. I believe you referred to it as our end game earlier in the evening. It's time to find out who Weird Al has selected for Trunks to face on this very last stop on the road to the big show, Ben. The second Pick Your Poison match. Trunks versus an opponent of Weird Al's choosing.
Yeah, I mean, so all right. Earlier tonight, Trunks picked Piccolo to face Weird Al. Who do you think Weird Al's got to face Trunks?
Ben, if I didn't know better, I might say it was you.
Yeah, you
know,
think?
I think, maybe you were inspired, like many were, by the fact that I stepped away from the commentary table to get in the ring. Maybe you were a little jealous. Maybe you want some of that spotlight for yourself. And Weird Al's a friend, Maybe you slid in a little word to him. It's like, you know what? I could fight for you.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, on an unrelated note, I have to leave right now.
The final boss, Bentista. No, I wouldn't wish that on Trunks. I like Trunks a lot and wouldn't want him to get steamrolled like that. And here we go, Ben. The number one contender, Trunks. He is on the ride of his life right now. This is like the best trajectory of his career. And yet he also has two very sizable challenges next week, because he's in the Battle Royale for the Judge Bird Championship as a former Judge Bird champion himself, and then in the main event for the Men's Championship, taking on friend of the show, Weird Al. This is do or die time for Trunks. If you've worked your way up through the tag team division and the Judge Burge ranks, and then earned your spot here. He had 2 title matches early in the year for the men's championship, came up short for both of them, then won the Rumble Pack match, and is now getting a one-on-one opportunity as opposed to a triple threat match. Wait, Ben, who's this? Who's he challenging? Who's gonna come out of that door? Ben, it's Charles Entertainment Cheese! Ben, Weird Al's good pal, Chuck E. Cheese, has been selected to take on Al's number 1 contender. Ben, holy... Chuck E. Cheese has upgraded his entrance in the time he's been away.
Yes, he has.
Look at this! Look at this absolute unit! Jogging through fire and explosions! The sheer budget behind this rat. Wow, Ben. Trunks with his hands on his hips, evaluating the threat in front of him right now. So, okay, this is who I've got. You know, Trunks didn't... You know, with these pick your poison matches, you don't know how to game plan. You don't know who's in front of you until they're standing right in front of you. Here we go. Coworker Brian calling for the bell. Trunks, big twisting drop kick to start this off against Chuck E. Cheese. Chuck with the size advantage, but missing a big flying clothesline. That's going to help keep Trunks in the... Oh, wow. Trunks performing...
And once again, I want to apologize for our current audio and visual issues. Working right now to try and get you the action as best we can.
Trunks with a knee DT to Chuck E. Cheese. Working over all the body parts of this enormous mouse. Is he a rat? Is he a mouse? He's a rat, right?
I
honestly don't know.
I think he's a mouse.
But either way, he just rolled right over Trunks and is, yeah, sparing no physical expense. Bouncing Trunks' head off the mat in a similar fashion to what we saw Samus doing to Judy Hopps earlier in the Chuck E. Cheese as Trunks' opponent because Chucky kind of ferocious here in this beatdown of Trunks. He's not Chuck E. Cheese to go full out on Trunks.
Working on bringing back the we're pausing taking a commercial break really quickly here, and we're working on getting you back so that you can view this. Now you're back. Now they can hear you.
Okay. I'd like to tell you all that Alien Happy Hour Wrestling Federation is brought to you, as always, by patreon.com/alienhappyhour. Your bucks go a long way towards supporting these bouts. Keeps the lights on in the gymatorium, keeps our wrestlers' salaries paid, it gives them good health insurance. We're not like that soulless monster Vince McMahon. We actually have our wrestlers as contracted employees, not independent contractors, because we care. That's what the more is. Also,
that is what the more is.
Also brought to you by Ben's Bungee Cords, your new business you've opened up downtown in Davenport. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Well, I'm busy right now. And I have no time to talk about Ben's bungee cords.
Busy, Ben. You always have time to talk about your passion and your small business. I think you're really selling your wonderful operation short, so I'll instead tell these fine folks about Ben's bungee cords. You never wanted to go bungee jumping, but you're afraid the cord's going to snap and you're going to plummet to an untimely death. Well, Ben's bungee cords guarantees that'll never happen. Ben's bungee cords diligently tests every cord to make sure it has the proper amount of bungee. You don't want to get up there and find out that it's less bungee than you anticipated, because then, accidents happen. And one thing that's not an accident is how happy you're going to be with your purchase from Ben's bungee cords. Ben's bungee cords.
Yeah, just keep talking about Ben's bungee cord.
I, for one, I'm not a fan of bungee jumping, but when I tried Ben's bungee cords, I said, wow, maybe I will try this someday. I just, tried it on in the back of the storeroom, but it felt like it might support my weight if I was plummeting toward the earth at rapid speeds. I might be willing to give it a try, and so should you. Ben's bungee cords. That's what the more is.
That's what the more is.
How are we faring in the truck?
Just trying to get it to kick back on here. All right. Okay, well, I'm afraid what we're going to have to do, which I'm
Pilot.
not happy about, is restart OBS. So we're gonna move this over. If you're watching this after the fact, the last match here is going to be on probably another video, which we will link to in the description. And if you're watching it live, then we'll be right back. Yeah. All right. Our stream we're back on here now. We should be good to go. We appreciate you for sticking with us here, and we are going to continue this match. We can only assume that was somehow the fault of Shigo or Wario or Samus, one of those
many
folk
mean-spirited people we unfortunately have on our payroll.
Yes.
Ben, we should incorporate a mean tax in this promotion. That way we would ensure that everyone's nice to each other. No one attacks people backstage anywhere. You know what? That's how we're going to solve this whole backstage brawl problem we got going on. A mean tax. You get fined every time you're mean to another wrestler. Or, a commentator.
Yeah.
Luigi will go broke by next Wednesday. But you know what? Maybe that's what's right and fair.
So,
Ben, Chuck E. Cheese just blocked Trunks' Masenko. Just swatted his hands away before he could summon that energy. Ben, Chuck E. Cheese teeing off on Trunks' skull with his hands like they were a baseball bat and just pounding away at the number. Ben, is Chuck E. Cheese trying to kill Trunks a week before the big show?
Yeah, I mean, Chuck E. Cheese obviously looking to make a splash here on his return to AHHW.
Yeah, a splash of blood?
Don't forget that Chuck E. Cheese is Charles Entertainment Cheese is a former, number one contender for that belt.
Here we go, going for that stunner. Trunks with his last gasp of energy pushing him off. Trunks on the ropes here, Ben. Not good for the number one contender. Big gut buster, though, to his Picky Poison challenger.
You're a number one contender if it's a triple threat.
Yeah.
Number two contender.
A number 1.5 contender. Here we go. Regal Plex from Trunks. Oh, not enough. Yeah, Chucky's a big boy, Ben.
That is the truth.
Trunks trying to have the people lend him some energy. He's going to need it. Because, Ben, from the looks of it, this thing so far, Chuck E. Cheese is not just trying to soften up Trunks for the match. He's not just trying to score a victory over Trunks. It honestly, to me, looks like he's trying to, maim Trunks and dance in front of him while he does it, no less. Big, innovative neckbreaker from Trunks there and popping up to that top rope. Here we go. Trunks is sometimes more comfortable up there than anywhere else in this ring. Here he goes, coming up. Oh, big snap power slam reversal of Chuck E. Cheese. That's the last thing Trunks wanted to have happen here. Ben, Trunks is having a hell of a night here. This is a huge roadblock on his path to Al next week for the championship. Chuck E. Cheese tossing him shoulder first in that ring post. And another baseball bat-like strike to the side of the head. Ringing Trunks' bell. And Brian might be bringing that bell. Oh, there! Wow.
Trunks emphatically kicking out of that one.
And Chucky, yeah, winded and upset with that. Here he goes, though. Ben, he just pantomimed shooting Trunks in the head. I told you this rat's up to no good. He's trying to kill him.
Yeah, you gotta wonder if this is what Weird Al had in store when he sent Chucky after Trunks.
And Trunks sending Chucky out to the floor, showing him, no, I'm not just gonna sit here and let you shoot me in the head, dumb old rat. I'm not gonna let you do that. Picking Chucky up, carrying him over. Where's he taking him, Ben? Out in front of his loyal fans. Oh, ow. Dropping him side first onto those thin but solid barricades. Trunks showing Chucky he's not going to take that beating lightly. He's going to give it right back. Elbow right to the nose. Stomping on the back of that jersey, hop, skipping to jump over him. Setting up again for that top rope. This time, Chucky not in a position to snap power slam anybody. Lying back first on that mat. Trunks firing up. Posing for the crowd. Big shooting star press bend to the rib cage of Chuck E. Cheese. But it's Trunks. Oh, wow, what is this? Recognizing that for an opponent like Chucky, that might not be enough. Just not even skipping with the pin. Here we go. And a big gentleman splash at the top. Might have hurt his own midsection there, but that might do it. Attacking the arm for good measure. Taking a breather. And here we go, going for that cover. After a shooting star press and a gentleman splash. Oh, not enough, Ben.
No, Trunks is throwing everything at Chuck E. Cheese right now. Nothing is getting him that win.
Chuck E. Cheese and the E is for phenomenal. What is this? Putting Trunks right where he wants him to give him a big Beal toss out of that corner. Ben, the size advantage and the mean streak. Chuck E. Cheese is an interesting competitor, Ben, because Weird Al would not be friends with him if he were a person with a mean streak outside of the ring, right? But once that bell rings, he's kind of a bully. You know, granted, I appreciate that he keeps it in the confines of athletic competition, but still. Here we go, setting up big stunner from Chuck E. Cheese to Trunks.
That's it. That's all she wrote.
And wow, not a good last night before his big title matches for Trunks. Taking the L to the E, Ben. Ooh. Chuck E. Cheese, Al's chosen opponent. You know, where Trunks gave Al his best shot and it wasn't enough. It looks like Weird Al picked exactly the right challenge for Trunks tonight because Chuck E. Cheese came away with a win over the #1 contender just a week before Trunks is going to have to prove all of his doubters wrong. And Ben, now I'm worried the biggest doubter of them all might be himself.
Yeah, I mean, after what we've seen tonight, you know, obviously there's a whole situation of not being ready for Chuck E. Cheese versus being able to prepare for Weird Al. But this was definitely a speed bump that Trunks was not expecting here on his road to the big show.
Yeah, Ben, I think Trunks is always a little bit of the underdog going into this match, but now, Ben, you got to look at the fact that he just had a hard-fought loss to Chuck E. Cheese. Then he will be in a battle royal with at least 5 other competitors for the Judge Bridge Championship. And then he faces the men's championship fresh on the top of his game in the main event of the big show. Ben, Trunks has never had a harder challenge than he's about to have next week. But we're going to see, Ben, who's going to come out on top in all of our many exciting matches next week, but especially Weird Al vs. Trunks for the men's championship. I cannot wait for the big show, Ben. I hope that every single one of our fans will join us next week in the Gymatorium for what... Actually, we won't be in the Gymatorium. We'll be in one of our special arenas for the biggest show of the year.
Yeah, we'll be in the high school auditorium, I think.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's so exciting. I mean, it's almost silly to call it the big show. It should be like the colossal show. It should be the gigantic show.
Yeah.
You know, colossal. You know.
Big ain't enough.
Yeah. You know, like this show feels big, but like not in a sense of weight. You know, another like colossal. I heard you were looking for AHHWF. We will see you next week. Thank you for watching, and have a week.
Boomer live!